Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Going to go through a couple articles. Headlines are pretty similar, but the actual information in between is just slightly different. Starting it off, Ripple says it put up a good fight as both parties file replies to the summary judgment. And Ripple is proud of its defense as its final submission for summary judgment is made. So in the ongoing Ripple lawsuit, both parties filed their redacted replies in support of their respective notions for summary judgment. And according to James K. Phelan, Judge Torres might make, end quote, one big written ruling on the pending issues in the lawsuit, including that the summary judgment motions based on precedents. Also to Stuart Alderati, the attorney for Ripple, stating Ripple's reply brief is public, and you can view it here, and he shares basically James K. Phelan's post of the actual file. And we share that as well, so if you're interested, you might have to search for it, but then again, it might be easier just to click the link in the description below straight off the article, and you can find it on Twitter, or also by going directly to Stuart Alderati or James K. Phelan's page on Twitter as well. So Stuart Alderati basically states, this is our final submission where we ask the court to grant judgment in our favor. After 2 long years, Ripple is proud of the defense we've mounted on behalf of the entire crypto industry. We'll come back to that for a minute, and I'll share my thought. We've always played it straight with the court. Can't seem the same for our adversary. Now, going back to being on behalf of the entire crypto industry, that's where, again, Ripple and XRP, it was labeled the standard, because what they're doing now, whether you like them or not, is setting precedent for the entire crypto industry. And you might want to wish that they win and hope so, because that will set, again, precedent for others to win on, the same path as that they are. So we'll see how this plays out. It's coming to an end very soon. I would love to see this end this year. We've shared the dates all week on many different articles. So going into the next article, where the whales are moving 143 million XRP, I think that's getting moved in expectations of the XRP lawsuit coming to an end as well. So I think people are getting prepared for that, because we know the price is going to rise extremely fast once this case is settled, because then it'll stop being manipulated, as it has been for quite a few years, even going back into 2018 January, what was it, the 15th or 18th, when it started the entire manipulation, not to mention the manipulation the SEC has put it in, so it wasn't able to rise. And we know it's already significantly, the price should be much higher as the value has increased, as Brad Garling has stated a few times over, where the rest of the world doesn't doesn't have the same concern. They use a word similar to S coin. Basically, the rest of the world doesn't give an S about the SEC and the lawsuit that they're in, because they already know it's a currency and they're unaffected outside of the USA. So in this next and final article for this video, the SEC makes final submission against Ripple, says it deserves summary judgment. I want to go into that a little bit, because now this article is a little bit more on the side of the SEC versus the other being on the side of Ripple. So again, not the article itself, but the perspective is what I'm saying. So don't get upset with these guys. They're just doing their job. SEC files redacted reply to Ripple's opposition to its summary judgment motion. So in a 62-page court filing seen by the Crypto Basic, the SEC asserted that it is entitled to summary judgment because the defendants did not oppose the material fact that XRP sales constitute an investment contract, end quote, for under Section 281 of the 1993 Securities Act. And the SEC further provided 3 facts proving that Ripple's XRP offering constitutes an investment contract. According to the agency, Ripple and its executives did not dispute that The blockchain company received $2 billion USD from investors in exchange for XRP. In addition, the defendants did not also dispute the fact establishing the common enterprise prong of the Howey test, and Ripple did not separately manage funds raised from investors, but rather pooled the proceeds from sales of XRP, which is Ripple's most valuable holding at all times, and as it promised investors, it used them to fund efforts to find use and value for XRP, the SEC asserted in its summary judgment reply. The agency noted that the defendants' efforts linked XRP investors' fortunes to each other, citing an excerpt from Attorney John Deaton's amicus curiae brief, which states that a Ripple loss would harm investors. Furthermore, the SEC argued that Ripple did not dispute another essential prong of the Howey test, which is the expectation of profit from the efforts of others. In quote, defendants made an avalanche of public statements indicating that they would take steps to increase XRP's value, partly because of Ripple's giant pile of XRP. Potential and actual investors understood that Ripple was financially compelled to do just that, the agency claimed. Per the SEC, Ripple's contrary argument is that many XRP investors did not consider the purchase of the crypto asset as an investment in the blockchain company. The U.S. SEC said the argument does not reflect the law, as the major question should be whether Ripple led potential investors to expect profits from the efforts of others. End quote. None of the defendants' arguments to the contrary precludes summary judgment. Defendants' primary tactic is to deflect controlling precedent with fictional tests, muddy the facts, and shift the blame to the SEC, the securities regulator said in its reply. And as an XRP investor, I don't know of any investor, and we've done, a lot of conversations and discussions with XRP investors here on this channel. None of them ever invested in XRP thinking that they owned a piece of Ripple, and none of them had gotten or purchased, more correctly, their XRP from Ripple. They had gotten all of them from the exchanges. For example, Coinbase and Binance. And then when Binance, September, I believe, 2 years ago, was no longer available to the U.S., then they had Binance US. And then a lot of them had used BitTrue globally. And again, having said that, I think Uphold is still available to get XRP as well in the USA. But having said that, again, the investors, I have never heard of any of them being confused on owning XRP as stock in Ripple as they understood. I believe it's linked to where you can actually go and get Ripple stocks, shares of their stocks. And I think that was, I think they had a sale purchase price of around $25 per share. Much different than owning the current around 39 cents per coin, per token of the currency XRP. And guys, remember, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But as always, before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. What's coming is better than what's gone. Much love, and we will catch you in the next one.